Here are the two myths, or the two alternatives that we are told are possible for us to believe in with regards to homosexuality. One, or alternative number one, is that homosexuality is a genetic issue. That, again, is the view that is presented to us by our society. Read that. Every time you read the newspaper, every time you turn on most of the news stations, every time you get on the internet, most of the movies that you see, this is that. This is that mindset. It's genetic. It's something that people are born with. Okay, God wouldn't make me this way if He didn't want me to be this way. The other alternative is supposedly this: all homosexual persons are evil and must be cured forcibly if necessary. Because the church says that homosexuality is wrong, it is often portrayed as being in that second camp. The argument said, there are a lot of crazy laws in the Bible, right? And here are some of them. I've pulled them out. Don't let cattle graze with other kinds of cattle. That's in Leviticus 19. Don't have a variety of crops on the same field. That's Leviticus 19. Don't wear clothes made of more than one fabric. Leviticus 19. Don't cut your hair or shave. Leviticus 19. Any person who curseth his mother or father must be killed. Leviticus 20. If a man cheats on his wife or vice versa, both the man and the woman must die. Leviticus 20. Psychics, wizards, and so on are to be stoned to death in Leviticus 20. This is used to discredit the stuff that's in other places in the Bible, right? Oh my gosh, who cares if you wear clothes made of more than one fabric, right? Okay? So surely then, what does the argument go as? All of these laws are what? They're all crazy, they're all old, they are all outdated, right? So because they had these laws, then the other laws must be nuts too. Okay, so then the stuff about homosexuality, well, yeah, it's pretty harsh language, but they're also crazy enough to say, don't wear clothes made of more than one fabric. There are some of the laws that are in the Bible, that are in the Old Testament, that the Jews had to follow, that Jesus says, those no longer apply. Right? You don't have to live according to those, because they were things that helped in that culture and that time and were important to there, but they're not things that you have to follow anymore. He doesn't say that about every law, right? He doesn't just say everything in the Old Testament is rubbish. Anybody ever play the game Balderdash? It's like a board game. There are 5 categories in the game, and one of the categories is crazy local laws. Okay? And what they do is they read off a law, and it's like, in the city of Tempe, Arizona, it is illegal to put mustard on blank. Okay? There is a whole box of these laws that are crazy. And you've probably heard them, even like in Indianapolis, sometimes you're reading the Star. Hey, did you know it's still illegal to cross the street with a horse or something like that? They're everywhere. There's tons of laws like that. Okay? So yeah, this sounds crazy. Don't let cattle graze with other kinds of cattle. Don't wear clothes made of more than one fabric. That sounds really dumb. Okay? But when we take them out of their when they take them out of their setting, lots of laws sound crazy. We said last semester that it is the natural law to not kill someone. Okay? That wasn't to murder someone. I'm born knowing that that is wrong. I don't have to be told by reading the 10 Commandments that it's wrong to kill someone. It wasn't like Moses came down, hey, here's the 10 Commandments, don't murder. Oh, that's a really good idea. I never thought of that. No, they already knew that, because it's already, the idea of natural law is that there's things that are in us that we know already, even before we encounter God or Bible or church or whatever else. Okay? Natural law. When I look at things, I just know that there are certain things that need to happen in a certain way. And so the church says that it is violating natural law. When we look then in relation to the second thing too, affective and sexual complementarity, when we look at a man's body and a woman's body, we just know that those two fit together. Okay? It is the natural law. When they come together, there is a child that is produced in that act sometimes. Okay, but it is always an act which has the potential to produce a child which continues the species moving forward. So the church says that is a natural process. We recognize that when we look at it. When you were in third grade and they were showing you the film strip of sex ed class, or whatever grade you did it, you had it in, woman and man fit together. That is sexual complementarity. Affective complementarity means that it's not just a sexual thing, not just a physical thing, but that it's also an emotional complementing of one another. So the church says, look, that homosexuality, first of all, violates that. It violates the complementarity that we see naturally in nature. God has made things to work a certain way, and it violates that. The church distinguishes between homosexual attractions and homosexual actions. So make sure you write that down. That's a very important distinction that the church makes that not many other people are willing to make in this discussion. To be the church's response. What should be a member of the church's response to someone who has a homosexual attraction? Compassion, acceptance, respect, sensitivity, affirming their dignity as a human person. Okay. Also, that the church distinguishes between heterosexual attraction and heterosexual action. It is much different to go and have sex with someone than it is to think about it, or to even be attracted to the other person. On a heterosexual level, let me just say for a minute, this is an amazing teaching, really, when you think about it. That John Paul II really helped me, because when I was in high school, and a younger guy, and you're, trying to figure it all out, and you're battling lust and so on and so forth. I remember when I used to think in my mind, I can't have those thoughts. And then as soon as I did, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to that woman. Oh, I've already sinned. So I might as well think about it even more. But the church says, attraction, not sinful. And when I heard that for the first time, that really helped me out a lot. Because when you realize that attraction is not sinful, to be attracted to a woman, or to be attracted to a man, the church does not consider that in and of itself to be sinful. It's still possible to live a life free of sin, to live a life of virtue, even though you're experiencing attraction. And in fact, problems arise when we try and tell ourselves, I can't even be attracted to someone. I can't be attracted to anyone. If I was, as a priest, walked around and said, I can't be attracted to any woman, then John Paul II says, you would cause all kinds of problems in your life. And we know that to be true. Psychologically, we know that's true. Right? If I walk around trying to repress even attraction, then I get into a lot of trouble with myself, and it will come out in lots of, he says, basically weird ways. And I then have to, if I switch into action, or I start to think about it on my own and allow thoughts to run in my mind, or I actually act on that attraction, that's the problem. Now, let's look at this point here, though. There is one distinction about heterosexual attraction and homosexual attraction that we need to make sure we understand. And this is what the church gets a lot of heat for. Because the church says that homosexual attraction is what? What did we say earlier? It's disordered. When you hear disordered, what does that mean to you? Disordered, in our mind, equals disease a lot of times. In the church's mind, it has nothing to do with that. Disordered, okay? Ordered to. To be ordered to means to be pointing in the direction of. Disorder can mean disease, but it also means not ordered to. Not pointing in the direction of. And what is it not pointing? What is a homosexual attraction not pointing in the direction of? It's not ordered towards children, okay? Towards sex properly understood. You're kind of right there with the natural law, okay? It's not ordered towards, it's not heading in the right direction that sexual action should be. It is going in the wrong direction. It's not ordered towards what sexuality should be ordered to. It is the first step. It's taking the arrow out of the holster or having the arrow already in your hand. It's going in the wrong direction. Okay? But that doesn't, is it sinful? Not yet. The church is just saying that it's heading where? It is heading towards something that is not good. So therefore it is disordered, not ordered properly. Okay, so that beats into you the mentality that, oh, well, it must be genetic. They keep finding it. But then they always find that it isn't. If it really had been found, we would know about it. So what they say, the argument is, well, it's genetic, we just haven't found it yet. But here's what I know a homosexual person might say: I have these attractions, therefore I know that they're real. I know that this is me because I have these attractions. I'm not making it up, is the argument. Do you see what I'm saying? And I understand that. I appreciate that. I have this attraction. I don't know where it comes from. I didn't choose it, so therefore it must be part of me. Lots of things that I personally am attracted to that in the moment I don't experience myself as choosing, but they're not me. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm attracted to unhealthy food. Okay? I'm attracted to junk food. But that doesn't mean that I am defined by that attraction. I can get past that attraction if I choose to. So the attraction itself doesn't define who I am. Even though in the moment I'm not choosing wow, there's a lot of junk food there. That looks good. However, it's Good Friday and I'm choosing to fast from that. I'm getting around that attraction. It's not at the core of who I am. If I don't eat junk food, it's not going to change my humanity. Again, reminder, psychologists agree that up to 95% of the stuff that motivates me to do one thing or another, to act this way or that way, comes from my subconscious. So, that means that almost all of what motivates us comes from stuff we don't understand. And that is amazing. Attraction is one of those things that is governed almost completely by my subconscious. I am attracted to people for many different reasons, but I don't usually understand hardly any of them in the moment. All I experience in my mind is I am attracted to that person. I don't choose it, it happens to me. I feel the attraction. Would anybody disagree with that? It's not like I walk around, oh, well, I wonder who I think I'm going to be attracted to today. Therefore, it becomes dangerous when people say, because I'm attracted to people of the same sex, I know that this is something that is me. They are essentially saying, I know where my attractions come from. But we don't know where our attractions come from. And the deeper we reflect on why we are attracted to Dave, the more we may come to know. But most of our motivations will always remain hidden from us. So defining ourselves by our attractions is very dangerous. My whole goal in marriage counseling is to get people to lower the level of the iceberg 10% so that they know a little bit more about why they're choosing their spouse. Because oftentimes the reasons that they're choosing their spouse are totally unknown to them. And it actually goes back way, way back. There are a lot of things that were going on in their childhood, and we can't run from that. We all have that. I had a great upbringing. But there are still things, if I were to get married, that would come from my childhood that would affect that decision. In the moment, I don't choose the attraction. It just happens. But we have to be open enough to say, you know what? I need to realize that there might be things that are causing me to have this attraction besides what I'm aware of. Because that's only 5% to 10% at the most. The question becomes, then how do I know that my attraction to a woman or to the opposite sex is good? If I'm not, if I don't know where my attractions come from, and the church would say that's why we have the natural law. That's why the church says, we have the scriptures to teach us what is the proper way for us what is the proper set of attractions to have. If I can't control what I'm attracted to, why does the church tell me it's wrong to act on my attractions? First of all, the church tells us to not act on a lot of things we are attracted to. I love chocolate, but the church tells me I can't eat too much of it for my own good. I may experience an attraction to a woman, but the church tells me I can't act on that attraction because I'm a priest. So I've made promises, plus I can't act on that attraction except within the bond of marriage anyway. If it tells my brother, My brother Matt has an attraction to someone. He can't act on it because he's already married. I'm attracted to the idea of sleeping in and not doing my work and watching movies all day. But the church tells me that it's wrong because it is one of the deadly sins of sloth. So the church tells me not to act on a lot of things that I'm attracted to. Secondly, the church understands we can't control our actions right now, but we can work to improve what we are attracted to by conforming ourselves closer to Christ. That's the key. When a person comes to me and says, I have experiencing homosexual attraction, my first response to them would be one of compassion, concern, dialogue. What can I do for you? How can I help you? What do you want to talk about that? But what we would ultimately believe is, long term, you can change, you can work at your attractions. Okay? I can work at the more, and the more that I fight against the attractions that I know are not good, the easier it becomes to leave them behind. For somebody out there walking the halls of Cardinal Ritter, some young freshman perhaps, masturbation is a battle that young man fights constantly with himself. He is constantly thinking about it. He is almost to the point of obsessed about it. Probably lots of them. Okay? If you fight against that, I can tell you for me, in my age, it is not. I don't think about it. I don't think about women, okay? I mean, you experience attraction and so on and so forth. But the sin of masturbation is not something that is a problem, that's like constantly got me in knots. Okay? You can walk away and work your way away from sinful attractions, things that are not considered to be good or ordered properly. Does that make sense? That's a very important thing to understand, and that's what the church's message is. But if you come to me and you don't want to work on that, I can't make you. Oh, well, you know what? You have homosexual attraction. You need to get fixed. What's the person going to say? Okay, thanks, pal.